And we have someone I'm super excited about that's going to talk to us about sponsoring. So April Green actually came to conference last year, and she got so excited about earning the LIT trip that she was on fire, and she promoted to director in November, and we're super excited and blessed to have April with us today, and she's going to share with all of you about some of the things that are working for her. So hi April, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks Cindy. Hey y'all, so like Cindy said, my name is April Green. I have been with 31 a little over a year, so since April of last year, and I live in Edmond, Oklahoma, have 3 kids, just, all the fun stuff. But I did not have any desire to do any sponsoring at all. I told my sponsor, Roseanne Medlin, I was like, I'm just going to maybe sell. I joined for the discount, like I'm sure most of you did. And it was really a way, we moved from Texas to Oklahoma last year. And so I just wanted a fun way to organize my house. Okay, I was like, this is cute. And my husband said, you better become a consultant because we're not paying full price for everything. So I said, okay, I'll do that. Do a couple parties, keep myself active, maybe see what I can do with it. But as soon as I started hearing about like Start Swell and things, I was like, okay, I think I could try this. And then when I went to conference, I just looked around and I was like, there's a reason that we share this opportunity. Like if someone hadn't shared with me, then I wouldn't be here. And from May to July, it had completely, and this is going to sound cheesy, but it completely transformed my life and my confidence. My husband has a kind of prestigious job, and introducing myself as a stay-at-home mom was kind of stinky sometimes. But as of, August 1st, I was proudly telling his coworkers, I'm a 31 consultant and I get to stay home with my kids, which is kind of crazy. So I knew that sharing with other people was important because I knew there were women who were feeling like me, or at least I was hoping that they were out there. So I do what we all hear all the time on these is you just ask. And at first when Roseanne told me that, I like rolled my eyes and I was like, okay, because it's that easy. But I'm going to tell you, I was like, okay, I sat down and I looked at my VIP group, and I went to who I call my like VIPers, the ones who are always commenting, always liking. I can count on them to post pictures. Some of them even go live in my group. So I went to them first because I knew that even if they told me no, it wasn't going to like devastate me. So I asked them first. It was just like, hey, you are doing an outrageous job in my VIP group and you're literally doing what I do. Have you ever thought about it? And I'm going to be honest with you, that very first message I sent to my friend, I thought I was going to throw up. And so I put my phone down and walked out of the room because I didn't know what she was going to say. She said, not right now, which is fine. It's great. And she's still one of my top customers, one of my best friends. But all of a sudden it just kept getting easier and my confidence began to grow. But it just literally was, have you ever thought about doing what I'm doing? I went from doing, and I still focus on my VIP group, but really it's at the party. I try to focus on who is being the most interactive or who has placed the biggest order. Because if they place the biggest order, they clearly love the product and they've already got so much. So then it's like, hey, I love everything you ordered. You could easily do what I'm doing because you've already got a whole bunch of stuff. You don't, and it's worked out really well. And one of the things that I really focus on is that building the relationship. If someone tells me not right now, I don't just leave them on a list and come back to them in a few months. Like I reach back out to them over something that we've talked about every few weeks. One of my rock star on my team, we talked from September to January every few weeks because her husband, his job situation was not working out, and that's why she couldn't join. And so instead of reaching out every few weeks and saying, hey, how's it going? Is it time yet? I reached out and was like, hey, how's the job hunt? What can I pray for you for today? Like, talk to me. We've become friends. And then it was like, she reached out and said, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. So that's the part of sponsoring that I love. And like Cindy said, I went to conference. I wanted all the ribbons. I wanted LIT. And that was my first thought. And then I realized how exciting it is having a team and girls beneath you. I am a cheerleader by nature. All the way through high school, I'll be real here. And it was so fun getting to cheer these girls on, and the girls who went live for the first time. I go live all the time. They never do. And then when they did, they immediately called me and were like, oh my gosh, I did it. And that's the part that I love about sponsoring. It wasn't scary for me anymore. And then the last part of it, obviously, it's the asking, the building the relationship. Then they got to the part where it was like, what do I do when they say yes? Like, I was terrified that the first time someone said yes, I was like, I don't know what to do now. But I just kind of realized I offered the option to host her launch party for her. All of my team members are out of state. I don't have a consultant on my team here in Oklahoma. So everything that I do is like 98% of my business is online. And so we would team up together. I coach her harder than I coach my hostesses, because I want her to right out of the gate, start off successful and feel confident, and be excited about this. So I don't want to just be like, okay, you're on my team, here, have a party. I want to be like, I am here for you every step of the way. At the beginning, I hold her hand really well all through Starts Well, but then I let go a little bit. But then after Starts Well, I continue to touch base with her, get in touch with her, figure out like, hey, how's it going? It may not be every week like it was, but I want her to know that I'm still here for her. And then the last thing that has really, really helped me was a pacing partner. And I had heard about that when I first joined, but I was like, how do you find one of those? People are always talking about how, I have my pacing partner, they're amazing. And I'm like, I don't know how do you do that? It turns out, rooming with someone you don't know at conference. She's on our big team. Shout out Sarah Peterson. She lives in Utah, and I never met her before in my life. Walked into that hotel room at midnight and instantly knew that she and I were going to connect immediately. She has walked with me through promoting. We promoted within a month of each other. We left conference and said, we're walking the stage next year. This is like a non-negotiable. We're going to Atlantis together. She has helped me through family things. It's just the pacing partner. God put her in my life when I needed her. And we have just been, I'm going to speak for her, everything for each other. So that's kind of my quick 3 tips is literally ask everybody. Offer if you can. I know a lot of you guys sponsor a lot of people each month. But if you can, help out a little extra with their launch parties. See how quickly, getting them to Pika that much faster is awesome for us, but it helps them realize like, I can do this. Like, this is awesome. And then find someone to help you along the way, whether it is another 31 consultant or if it's your spouse. My cute husband had everything set up for me this morning, took the kids out of the house. So just find that awesome support system. And it's amazing how when your confidence grows, how your business grows. So
I love that, April. Thank you so much. You covered tons. Like, you just promoted conference. If you leaders were at Summit, then you heard me talk about like only at 31 can you kind of have a BFF overnight. And April just described that experience, because that's what's unique. That's what's great about 31. That is the transformational, experience that I was just talking about. So to get excited about, transforming lives, creating those best friends overnight, that's life change, and that's huge. And so thank you so much, April, for sharing kind of your courage for that initial ask. And then you talked about follow-ups. You talked about so many things that I was just describing. So fortune is in the follow-up. I know that we're going to be asking maybe one of our PAC members to join us in the next couple of weeks to talk about how she does follow-up. I think she does follow-up Fridays. And so we're going to be bringing that to you in the next couple of weeks. And we're just super excited about where we are going right now. I think we've got so much going on with June. I think this could be the biggest summer ever. I do want you to be sharing about sponsoring. I introduced a concept around Dash for Cash that was the 4-hour work week. I don't know if you talk about that, but that is a great recruiting seed. So just making sure that you are talking about like, this is a 4-hour, side hustle job, a gig, whatever you want to call it, but really start planting those seeds early on to get the orders every week. And if that's how you're planting your seeds, and if you're setting the expectations, then your new consultants are going to be off to a stronger start. They're going to feel more successful, and you're actually going to transform their life. So I really just wanted to come back and remind you one thing. We are so good at setting our expectations for our hostesses. So we'll say, you want to have a $1,200 party because you get 3 exclusives, or you want to have an $800. Like, you set the bar high for your hostesses. I want you to start thinking about, how are you setting the bar higher for your new consultants, for your team? You are the leader of your team. And on our summit webinar this week, last week, Jen was talking about how her team was like waiting for her to lead her. And I loved when she talked about how she turned around and started leading them. You get to set the bar for your team. What kind of team do you want? Do you want a $1,000 team? Do you want a $2,000 team? That's like people in the 1K group or 2K group. You get to set the bar. Just like you hostess coach, you get to consultant coach. You get to team coach where you want them to be. And that's when the transformation happens. You get to coach them on, does your team go to conference? Does your team, show up and make best friends overnight? Just like April was talking about. So just want to make sure that you're kind of figuring out, how do you want to show up for your team? What's your team culture? What are some of the expectations? And I know I've covered a lot, so just write down the ones that resonate with you. You don't have to write down all of them, but like something's going to stick out from what I said, from what April said, from what Sherry's sharing. Something's going to stick out every week at Leader Live. That's why you keep coming back. So write down those few things that stick out, or those ahas, and go after them. So have a great week.